must put it on record. I've spoken to many investors in Mumbai. I've spoken to many people running businesses. All of them feeling despondent. They're feeling down. The morale is very low. I think we would like to request our Prime Minister and Finance Minister to call industry, talk to them and see what needs to be done, listen to suggestions, because I think things are going downstream and we all want to work together to make India a much better economy for everybody. And I think this is a crisis that requires a resolution and close work with the government to come out of it before it gets worse. We don't want the next quarter, the third quarter of the year to be bad. First quarter is bad. Fourth quarter of last year is bad. This quarter is bad because consumption is not going up. And we want the third and fourth quarter better. So at least this year is okay. And the next year we can get high growth. We need high growth. But I think, we need to talk to government, work together. Tax terrorism is a reality in this country for the last 20 years. And in the last 5 years, disputes have doubled. The data is very clear. I wrote an article on that to say, Jaitley promised to stop tax terrorism. He's not been able to do it. Disputes are doubled. There is a crisis as regards tax terrorism. And our Prime Minister and Finance Minister have to protect us. They have to step in, hold inquiries and make sure that the tax officials don't indulge in tax extortion. They do their job and we have to be protected from abusive behavior, from humiliation or whatever it is. Yes, they have to do their job. They have to make sure they follow the law. But it doesn't mean that you humiliate people, you destroy their reputation or do anything wrong. Yes, business could do wrong. I could say that business could do wrong. All of us could do wrong. But disputes are not wrong. If you take in a particular legal interpretation, that may not be wrong. That is something that a court has to settle. It cannot be your judgment. Well, the NBFC crisis, that 1 lakh crore is good, but only 6 months. 6 months is not going to make a difference. You need 1 or 2 years to work out, and I think many things need to be done. The budget has not been very good. This attack on the so-called super rich is a tax on honesty, because the finance minister said on record that there are 5,000 people who could be impacted, but these are 5,000 honest people. These are all people who are paying the taxes, declaring the full income. You can point out another 5,000 people who have spent money, who don't pay their taxes, and we can make a list of names. You go to all the wedding halls and see how much is being spent all over India. You can point out who is doing what. But the problem is, they're not there part of the tax net. So the honest people who have been paying for years are getting there. Now you must look at the number of people who are salaried class, who are above 2 crores. You may find a large number who are stuck and they're honest people. So I think this attack on the so-called super rich has been insensitive, has not been considerate, and for the long reasons, and I think is backfiring, and especially putting the FPIs who work through trust to this higher taxes and surcharges suddenly when they're investors, long-term investors, and then telling them, oh, you are collateral damage, and then telling them, why didn't you make into the company? That's totally insensitive, because you can't change the farm of business. And I would blame the officials, because the job of the officials to make an impact analysis, brief the finance minister who's new, come out with a set of things and tell them. And I don't think the finance minister was briefed about what could be the implications and what could happen if this happens. So I think it's very sad, and the budget has certainly not helped. And what has happened also is the interaction between industry and government should improve. My view is that he was pushed to the wall by a series of events for a very important reason. And to me, the reason is he's a person who has got high self-esteem, high self-respect. He did not want to be humiliated. I won't say that it's only because of the tax that he has been forced to do this. There must be a series of events, because he went through the tax event and he filed a return and he would have fought in the courts, but the experience must have been humiliating and harrowing for him. And he also had challenges about liquidity from the PE investors and others. So he has given 2 reasons, but I think all of this led him to desperation to say that, look, now there is no hope for me and there's no way forward. And I think that public humiliation he went through when the tax officials raided him and all that has left a deep wound. But I won't blame the tax authorities alone for this, because I think no person should commit suicide. It is very wrong for anybody to do that. But I guess he was built very differently and he succumbed to a set of circumstances. So I won't blame the tax authorities as much as to say that possibly he did not confide in his friends or others who could have possibly helped him out. Business may have a lot of explaining to do. Possibly, if you look at all that unknown notes that are circulating around without any paternity saying Siddharth did this, could be true. We don't know. But the key thing is, business has a lot of reckoning to do, but you have to treat business with respect. You can't beat them up, you can't humiliate them, you can't do anything. Yes, you have a right to collect taxes, you must collect taxes, you must follow the law, but I think respect must be shown. Yes, business could be crooks, but even crooks have to be treated with the rights that they have. You can't humiliate people, you can't beat up everybody and tell them they're wrong, they're this and that. And I think the way you treat people is important.